The well-traveled cat. According to various surveys, the average domestic cat seldom travels over 100 meters from home. This is the story of a cat who covered roughly 42,234 kilometers, or 26,242 miles, with his beloved mama, from South Africa to New Zealand, Australia, the United States, and Canada. For Jamie's entire life, I was teased about how close I was to him. I often heard, "In my next life, I want to come back as one of your cats." I treated him like my baby because that's who he was. I wasn't at all concerned that others saw me as ridiculous. Jamie was my priority, and I adored him. Why would I treat him any other way? My relationship with that beautiful boy could be summed up in the words a colleague once said to me while recounting what she told others about us. "You'd think she's crazy to spend all that money taking Jamie around the world with her until you see them together. Then you understand." You see, Jamie picked me. I love cats, and always have, so it stands to reason that the moment I resettled myself in Cape Town, one of the first things I did was head to the local SPCA to find 2 little kitties to take home. Having had a grey cat growing up, I was in search of both a ginger kitten and a black one. There was only one ginger in the mewling mass of fur surrounding me, and I picked him immediately. As I squatted down to pet the beautiful orange and white striped tabby I had already named Joey, a little ball of black and white fluff settled under my left leg. I didn't even notice him until my friend, who had come along for the ride, said something. "You have to take him," she said, indicating the kitten contentedly nestled under my shin. "He's been following you. He's chosen you." "Are you serious? I didn't even notice him." "He's been following me this whole time?" I questioned. "Yes, everywhere you've gone, he's been a few steps behind you. And look at him now. He's settled underneath your leg." I looked down, and sure enough, there he was. I stroked his fur as he looked up at me hopefully. I picked him up, looked into his green eyes, and kissed the top of his head. It was at that moment we both knew we were for each other. An immediate connection. "Okay, you're right," I said to my friend. "I have to take him." After the 3 of us claimed each other on that autumn day in 2001, we lived happily together in the northern suburbs of the mother city for 2 years, until my partner and I decided to emigrate to New Zealand. The boys were put through 5 months of brutal quarantine in Johannesburg and Auckland before we were all reunited in Wellington on the North Island where we had settled. That summer day in February, when my babies were finally out of their cages, having come home from their quarantine ordeal and were able to explore their surroundings, remains one of my happiest memories. We all spent another 4 years in Aotearoa before the boys and I moved to Perth in Western Australia. Thankfully, the 2 countries have an agreement, and no quarantine was needed this time. But I did have to put them in a cattery for a couple of weeks as I secured a job and us a home. When the boys were 8 years old, we lost Joey to a midnight hit and run, which devastated us both, and watching Jamie mourn his brother for years hurt deeply. He would wander through the house calling to him, but there was nothing I could do to ease his pain. My little furry bundle of love and I became each other's everything, as life threw some curveballs our way. I hate to admit how much I put that beautiful boy through. I went to university for the first time when I was 37. and after 2 years of studying part-time and working full-time, I switched tactics and focused on completing my first degree by studying full-time and working part-time. Jamie and I had to rent rooms in other people's homes to get by, and things got much tougher as we became the bottom rungs of our housemates' ladders. We got through it together, no matter where we were in the world. As long as we had each other, we were okay. With my first degree done, I returned to working full-time and rented us a home in Perth's northern suburbs, where we lived peacefully for another 3 years. In 2017, I turned our world upside down as we headed to the United States to chase my dreams. Expecting a 16-year-old cat to adjust to such a change is unfair, and the journey took a toll on him. I still don't know if I have forgiven myself for that. With our plans not panning out, I headed to Costa Rica to teach English. Due to Jamie's declining health, I had to leave him with a friend in Texas for 7 months. We missed each other terribly, and soon I could take it no longer, flying up to Canada, where we reunited after my friend drove for 3 days from San Antonio, Texas, to bring him to me. I crept through the hotel room door and called to him in the way I had for 18 years. With severe arthritis and chronic kidney disease, he raised himself to answer my call, and I cradled him in my arms all night, thankful to be with him again. Jamie and I had another 5 months together before I had to make the worst and most difficult decision of my life. I had to put him down. Jamie had quite the personality, part angel, part devil, and I loved every moment of it. His unique disposition endeared him to everyone who spent time with him. Many consider cats to be Zen masters and excellent teachers, and Jamie was no exception. He taught me patience, unconditional love, the importance of being in the moment, and deep commitment as we traveled the world together for almost 19 years. Jamie may have been the well-traveled cat, but he was also the love of my life.